Adam, who do you think are a couple players that people should watch out for that could come up at some point? Because I know that obviously we all want Wander to come up to start the season, but that's probably just not going to happen just because of how young he is and where he's played in the minors. But who are some guys that you think that are the Rays are really going to focus on in terms of non-roster invitees?
That was one I was going to take. So let me go back to my second option there.
I mean, we could talk about Wander because Wander is like the easiest topic to talk about with the Rays.
Right. I was going to say real hot take. Keep your eyes on Wander Franco in spring training.
Yeah.
That's why you bring on me, the expert, to give you great takes like that. Honestly, I was looking at the list of non-roster invitees, the guys that they signed on minor league deals as opposed to their own prospects they're bringing up. And one name that jumped out to me, maybe just because of my familiarity with him a little bit, is Brian Moran. He's a left-handed reliever. He's got a pretty funky delivery, which is just a classic Rays type of thing out of the bullpen. A lefty with a funky delivery. The Rays don't have a ton of left-handed depth on the 40-man roster, so I don't know if he's the kind of guy who would crack the roster coming out of opening day, but it seems like a perfect Rays minor league signing who just we're going to look up in September and it's like, hey, Brian Moran's getting big outs now. I guess that's just a thing that's going to happen. He was one who stood out for me on that front. There's a bunch of guys as far as prospects go who I think we're looking forward to seeing. Xavier Edwards was on the non-roster list. Just players who haven't been on the field a whole lot in the last year, due to the minor league season being canceled last year. Guys who you're just going to want to see where they're at, how they're coming along, what changes they've made. I think one of the smartest things I've heard about player evaluation in the last year is that it's really hard to scout and evaluate players and say what they are because they keep changing so much. And I think the Rays are a perfect example of that organizationally, that they develop guys and they improve players so significantly that you never know what you're going to see when they show up. And another one along those lines is Brent Honeywell. We haven't seen him pitch in a game in a very long time. And I think there's a chance that he plays a role for this team this year. So I believe I saw that heard that he was throwing at some point, even just playing catch or whatever it may have been at the Trop. Hopefully he's going to be healthy coming into spring training and able to contribute. That's a guy that I really want to see because back before all these injuries and stuff, he had such a high ceiling. He had a really top pitching prospect in baseball. So that's definitely one. And then just all the guys that they brought in. Luis Patino, obviously, I've heard nothing but great things about him. I really want to see what they do with Francisco Mejia, both defensively, the work that they do with him, and then maybe if they can get more out of the bat. He was such a good prospect coming up through the minors offensively, and then just hasn't been that guy in the majors in the brief time that we've seen him. So I'm really curious to see the kind of work that they do with him as well. And then, catch up with Glasnow and Meadows. That'll be nice to see how Chris Archer integrates himself back into the clubhouse. I think that'll be all very fun to watch. Definitely a lot of stuff, and really looking forward to actually seeing it all happen so we can talk about what's happening as opposed to what might happen.